In this short video, I'm going to talk to you about the different types of income you can use to help you qualify for a mortgage. Now, we do have some workarounds in the non-QM world, but this is just used as a general guideline that you can follow. When it comes to income, if you remember nothing else from this video, just remember this sentence. If you can't prove it, you can't use it. Now the flip side is also true. If you don't need it, don't use it. Anything that you try to use as income is going to have to be verified. So if you can qualify with just your regular income, pay stubs, W-2s, stuff like that, including other things is just going to slow down the process if you don't need it. So what would be considered proof? Proof would be things like pay stubs, tax returns, bank statements, court records, checks made payable to you, things like that. It's got to have a paper trail. You must also be able to prove that that income is reliable and expected to continue. And this means different things for different types of income. Most of your earned income, like your W-2, overtime, commission income, bonus income, certain investment income, all of that's going to have to show a 2-year history. Here's a question that we get all the time. Hey, I've been working a bunch of overtime lately. Can I put this on there? Only if it is consistent for the past 2 years. Can you use it? Now, consistent doesn't mean that it happens all year long. It could be different times of the year. Maybe you work more hours, but you've done that consecutively the last 2 years. So I used to run heavy equipment, and during the winter and the early spring months, the weather here in the Midwest is so unpredictable that our hours were never really the same. But then when we got more into the summer and the early fall, we'd be consistently working 60 to 80 hours a week just because we could. So in that scenario, I could use that overtime income because I could prove that it happened the year before. Now where this gets a little bit trickier is if you're a business owner or you get a 1099, then what they're gonna do is they're gonna average your last 2 years and they're gonna underwrite to the worst case scenario. So let's say you just started a new business. First year, you make 50 grand. Year 2, you bust your ass, you make 200. In that case, they would average those two together and your income would be about 125,000. Now let's say the opposite happens. You made 200,000 one year, pandemic comes, all your business gets wiped out, you make 50 grand the next year. They're always gonna try to underwrite to the worst case scenario. So they're gonna use 50 grand and just ignore your 200. Again, there are things that you can do to combat this and get your income raised back up, but this is just a general guideline the way underwriters tend to look at it. Then there's other types of income that are court ordered, government sponsored, certain investments and retirement accounts. Those you're gonna have to prove a 12-month history and then prove that it's expected to continue for the next 3 years. Examples of this would be things like child support, alimony, 401k distributions, royalties, disability, things like that. Again, if you're gonna use it, just know that you're gonna have to verify. It's also possible to qualify on future income in some cases as long as you can prove employment and then show at least one pay stub that can verify that compensation. Now you might be thinking like, man, that's a lot of stuff. Why do they need all that anyway? Well, to be fair, in a lot of cases, the lender's willing to loan you money over a period of 30 years after only looking at your last 24 months. Now, I don't know about you, but most of us, myself included, probably looked like shit on paper at one point in time. So it's really not that bad. So we've been talking about all the different types of income that you can use. Is there any income that you can't? If you got a bag of cash at your house, can't use that. Can't use Cash App, can't use Venmo, or anything else that the IRS doesn't know about. If the IRS don't know, it ain't gonna work. Even if you were to buy a house in all cash, if you aren't showing substantial income on paper, then your ass is getting audited. I've done a lot of side jobs through the years. I've flipped stuff on Craigslist, Marketplace, so I get it. I respect the hustle. But if you want to use it, it's got to be official. But that's it for this video. If you guys have any questions about would this work, would it not work, you can always reach out to me. Depending on where you're watching this, my contact info should be somewhere above or below this. So you can reach out there, shoot me a message. I'm happy to help any way I can. Thanks for watching.